I'm so sorry, guys. It happened again, and I'm just too lazy to record the full thing again because I don't really have the time. So, moving on over to the NL Central, finishing in 5th place, St. Louis Cardinals. They're going to be one of the worst teams in baseball. They have an awful lineup. I mean, Ivan Herrera mashes, Alec Burleson mashes, but other than that, not a very good lineup. Rotation. I mean, also forgot about JJ Weatherholt. Love JJ Weatherholt. Fantastic. They're starting him opening day. And then the rotation, it's Matthew Liberatore, and that's pretty much it. Bullpen, horrible. This is one of the worst teams in baseball. Finishing in 4th place, Cincinnati Reds. The Reds lost Hunter Green for a while, and when you lose one of the best pitchers in baseball, that's gonna kill you. And then the lineup is not really that great outside of Ellie De La Cruz and Eugenio Suarez, so yeah. Pitching outside of Hunter Green, I mean, Nick Lodolo, Andrew Abbott, Brady Singer, and Chase Burns. And then the bullpen's great. Emilio Pagan, Brock Burke. You got some other guys mixed in there. They got a pretty fun bullpen, but it's not enough to save this lineup in rotation, so I'll put them in 4th place. Finishing in 3rd place, going with my Pittsburgh Pirates. I know they just had a horrible, horrible game against the Mets, but generally speaking, this Pirates team is really good. Paul Skeens is not going to have that game every single day, and if he does, something went wrong. But Paul Skeens is arguably the best pitcher in baseball, and in the rotation with him, Bubba Chandler, you're going to get Jared Jones back at some point, Mitch Keller, Braxton Ashcraft, Jose Urquidy, Carmen Mlodzinski. Like, that's a pretty good rotation. It's one of the best in baseball. Bullpen, fun. Mason Montgomery, Dennis Santana, Gregory Soto. That's a pretty decent bullpen. Lineup, very, very fun. Brandon Lau and Ryan O'Hearn both went yard yesterday, and those were guys who we brought in. So, yeah. And also, O'Neal Cruz has to be better. Brian Reynolds has to bounce back. They're going to start Connor Griffin at some point. They have to. And then the rest of the lineup, Jared Triolo. We have the DUI, Marcelo Zuna DHing. And then catching is a mess. I mean, I like Joey Bart, but just play Joey Bart. Don't play Henry Davis, at all. So, yeah, I don't think the Pirates are ready just yet. So I'll put them in 3rd place. Finishing in 2nd place, I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Brewers. I know the Brewers won the most games in baseball last year, but you traded away Freddie Peralta, and not just Freddie Peralta, who was your ace, one of the best pitchers in baseball. The rotation's still fine with guys like Brandon Woodruff and Jacob Mizorowski. That's pretty much it. You're going to get Brandon Sprode up at some point. The bullpen, very, very good. Abner Uribe, Trevor McGill, and you got some other guys mixed in there that I'm forgetting. And then the lineup, very solid as well. Jackson Chorio, I know he's hurt, but he's going to come back at some point. Who else? Bryce Terang was great in the WBC. William Contreras. I don't know if Andrew Vaughn is going to repeat what he did last year. Probably not. Joey Ortiz is one of the worst hitters in baseball. I do like Sal Frelick, and I really like Christian Yelich. So, that to me, 2nd place team. Because finishing in 1st place, I've got the Chicago Cubs. I think the Cubs might have the best record in baseball. I mean, top to bottom, this team is great. They have a super high floor, and the ceiling is also super high. The lineup is very, very good. Michael Busch, Alex Bregman, Dansby Swanson, Pete Crow Armstrong, Carson Kelly, Seiya Suzuki, Matt Shaw, Ian Happ. Great lineup. Moises Ballesteros, forgot about him. And Nico Horner. Can't forget about Nico Horner. Rotation, fun. Matt Boyd, Cade Horton, Jamison Taillon. You brought back Shota Imanaga. You're going to get Justin Steele back at some point. Colin Ray. And the bullpen, pretty decent as well. Hunter Harvey, Phil Maton, Daniel Palencia. Oh, forgot about Edward Cabrera in the rotation. He has super high upside. I forgot about Edward Cabrera. Yeah, I forgot about Edward Cabrera. So yeah, Cubs, first place, probably going to have the best record in baseball. Or I think they could be. Now let's move on to the final division, the NL West. All right, last division, the National League West, finishing in 5th place, quick and easy, the Colorado Rockies. They're the worst team in baseball. What can I say? I mean, I like Ezekiel Tovar and Brenton Doyle and Hunter Goodman in the lineup. And then the rotation, nothing to be excited about. Bullpen, I mean, Chase Dollander, they're moving to the bullpen. I also like Zach Veen in the lineup and Seth Halverson in the bullpen, but this is the worst team in baseball. Finishing in 4th place, I really wanted to put them higher, but I can't. I've got the Arizona Diamondbacks. I mean, offensively, they're great. Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, Geraldo Perdomo, Pavin Smith, Gabriel Moreno, hopefully Nolan Arenado. They're going to get they're playing Jordan Lawler they're going to play Jordan Lawler every day. He's solid. He's very, very solid. But yeah, the rotation, horrible. Zach Gallen can't be as bad as he was last year. And Ryan Nelson, I think, could be a very solid starter. But Erod, Brandon Pfaadt, Merrill Kelly looked bad with the Rangers. You are going to get Corbin Burns back. You're going to get Justin Martinez and AJ Puck back in the bullpen because they desperately need it. But I'll put them in 4th place. 3rd place, San Francisco Giants. Giants are similar to the Royals, where they kind of have a fun rotation and lineup, but they don't have a fun bullpen. Royals have a fun bullpen, the Giants do not. Lineup is fun. Matt Chapman, Willie Adames, Rafael Devers, Harrison Bader, Luis Arias, Elliot Ramos, Jung-Hoo Lee. Going to get Bryce Eldridge back up at some point. That's a pretty solid lineup. In the rotation, Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, and Tyler Mahle. That's a really good 1, 2, 3. And then the bullpen, horrible. I mean, Ryan Walker stinks, so I'll put them in 3rd place because of that. Finishing in 2nd place, I've got the San Diego Padres. So the Padres are loaded offensively. Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, Jackson Merrill. Hopefully Xander Bogaerts will bounce back. Ramon Laureano was awesome. They're going to play Gavin Sheets. Nick Castellanos is on this team. Yeah, that's their lineup. Jake Cronenworth, can't forget about Jake Cronenworth. So yeah, that's their lineup. Rotation, scary. Love Michael King, love Nick Pivetta. Joe Musgrove is going to come back, and then you're relying on guys like Tristan McKenzie, Walker Buehler, and German Marquez. I don't know about that one, Chief. Now, they do have the best bullpen in baseball. It's not even close. Mason Miller, Jason Adam, Jeremiah Estrada, Yuki Matsui, Adrian Morejon. Those are 5 elite relievers. And, they're going to be better than this because AJ Preller is a maniac, and he's going to go out and get someone insane. He's going to trade Ethan Salas for a top player, for one of the best players in the game. So, yeah. And then finishing in 1st place, to nobody's surprise, is the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, what can I talk about? They're the back-to-back World Series champions, and they added Edwin Diaz and Kyle Tucker. I'm done talking about them. I don't want to talk about them anymore. So, let's move on to the playoffs and awards. All right, now for the postseason teams. This is how it's going to go. I've got the Cubs as the 1. I've got the Phillies as the 2. And then I have the Dodgers as the 3. These 3 teams won their divisions. And for the wild card teams, I've got the Mets as the top one. The Brewers as the second one. And then sneaking in to be the 6th seed, I've got the San Diego Padres. I wanted to put the Pirates on here, but AJ Preller is a maniac, and he's going to get someone. And the Pirates, I just don't think it's their year just quite yet. And then as for the NL awards, for Comeback Player of the Year, the Braves, I do have missing the playoffs, but it's not this guy's fault. I've got Austin Riley. I mean, I don't think he's going to go back to being his 30-homer, 30-double guy with great defense at third base, but I think he could be, pretty good again. He could be 30 homers again, but I don't think as many doubles, but he'll still play great defense at third base. I think he's going to win Comeback Player of the Year. For Reliever of the Year, I've got Mason Miller. I really wanted to go someone else, but, like, it's Mason Miller. For manager, he's the best reliever in baseball. For manager of the year, I've got Don Kelly, the Pittsburgh Pirates. I know he got ejected in his first game, which is kind of funny, but, like, again, Pirates are going to be a surprise team of the year. He's going to be a reason why. For rookie of the year, another Pirate, Connor Griffin. Yep, the Pirates, I think, are going to call up Connor Griffin by April or May, and he's going to go off and win rookie of the year. For the Cy Young, it is Paul Skeens, but if I'm not picking Paul Skeens because I don't want to, even though I do want to, but I'm going to keep it fun, I'm going to go with Logan Webb. Because, I mean, every single year, Logan Webb throws 200 innings, has a whip under 1, and last year, I don't know if you guys knew this, he struck out the most batters in the National League. If he can have like a 2.7 ERA with a whip under 1 and strikes out 200 batters again, why can't he be a Cy Young candidate? Or at least win this, challenge Paul Skeens for the Cy Young. And then for MVP, similar ilk. I mean, Shohei Ohtani's going to win it, but if Shohei Ohtani didn't exist, who would I pick? Again, Braves are going to miss the playoffs. Not this guy's fault. I've got Ronald Acuna Jr. Again, I don't know if you guys knew how good Ronald Acuna was last year. Last year, he had a 935 OPS with horrible defense in the outfield and didn't run. If he can run even a little bit, he's going to steal 40, 50 bases. And if he hits like he did, he could have 1,000 OPS. He could legitimately have a 50-50 season and the Braves still might miss the playoffs. That's crazy, but... So, yeah, Acuna is my MVP, but it's going to be Shohei Ohtani. And if it's not Shohei Ohtani, I will be shocked. Playoff time. So, for the wild card in the American League, I've got the Baltimore Orioles going up against the Detroit Tigers. And I've got the Tigers moving on. Orioles had a great run, but the Tigers team is just so incredibly good. I mean, like how the Tigers with that pitching and that hitting, like... How does this team lose? Tarek Skubal is gonna shut them down, and then Framber Valdez is gonna shut them down right after. And then we got the Red Sox versus the Blue Jays. This is a banger of a series, but I'm sorry, Kai. I have the Blue Jays moving on to the next rounds. Sorry, but it's just what I have. And then for the NL side, I've got the Dodgers going up against the Padres. This one's going all 3 games. This is going to be a banger of a series, but of course, to nobody's surprise, I've got the Dodgers moving on. Padres had a fantastic run, but the Dodgers team, they're the 2-time World Series champions, and like if they don't beat the Padres in the wild card, then that's an absolute failure of a year. And then I've got the New York Mets going up against the Milwaukee Brewers. And unfortunately, I'm moving the Mets onwards. I don't want to, but, I mean, I don't think the Brewers can beat the Mets. So, yep, I've got the Dodgers and the Mets moving on to the division series. All right, moving on to the division series. And first, I got the Yankees going up against the Detroit Tigers. And as much as I want to move the Yankees on, I feel like the Tigers are going for a World Series run this year. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to knock the Yankees out of the playoffs and go with the Tigers. See, you thought I was being biased through this 3-parted video. How about that for my Yankees bias, huh? Unbelievable. And then I've got the Mariners going up against the Toronto Blue Jays, a rematch from the ALCS. And unfortunately, I'm going with the Mariners moving on to the championship series. That one's going all 5 games, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I just got a good feeling about the Mariners this year. I think this is their chance to make a World Series run. But they're going to have to get past the Tigers first, and we'll see how that one pans out. All right, and then for the NL side, I've got the Phillies going up against the Dodgers, a rematch from the NLDS of last year. And unfortunately, I've got the Phillies moving on this time. Again, Dave Dombrowski is going to be a maniac and do something crazy. And the Dodgers, they've played so much extra baseball. They have to get tired at some point. And I think it's going to be this year, so I got the Phillies knocking them out. That series going all 5 games, and I think the Phillies win Game 5 by 1 run. And then for the Cubs going up against the New York Mets, I've got the Cubs moving on. Now, is that me being Mets biased? Probably. I hate the Mets, so you know what? Screw the Mets. Knock them out of the playoffs. Cubs moving on to the NLCS. Now, moving on to the championship series, I've got the Seattle Mariners going up against the Detroit Tigers. And as much as I want to put the Tigers in the World Series, with Tarek Skubals last year potentially on the Tigers, just go into free agency as a World Series champion. So you know what? I'm doing that. I'm putting the Tigers in the World Series. Mariners had a great run. I also wanted them to be a World Series team this year. Obviously, the Yankees, but I've got the Detroit Tigers moving on to the World Series. Let's see who they're going to be facing. And then for the NLCS, we got the Chicago Cubs going up against the Philadelphia Phillies. This one's going all 7 games. This is going to be an absolute banger of a series, but I've got the Phillies moving on to the World Series. They have to make a run this year. If they do not, they're going to fire Dave Dombrowski. And, there's no reason for them not to be in the World Series this year. This team is phenomenal. So I'm moving them on to the World Series to face the Detroit Tigers. So let's see who's going to be winning it. So my 2026 World Series is going to be the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Detroit Tigers. And drum roll, please. Winning in 6 games, I've got the Detroit Tigers. That's right, guys. I think the Tigers are winning the 2026 Major League Baseball World Series. They have to. Tarek Skubal is going to go into free agency as a World Series champion. And speaking of which, World Series MVP, Tarek Skubal. He's going to pitch in 3 of the 7 games. He's going to shut the Phillies down with Framber Valdez behind them. There's no reason for the Tigers not to make a World Series run. I think they're a sneaky good team this year. Keep an eye out for the Tigers. You're not going to regret it. So the Tigers are my 2026 World Series champions. So that is my 2026 World Series MVP World Series, preseason predictions, everything. I'd love to know how you guys think I did down in the comment sections below. Comment what you agree with, comment what you disagree with, and please, for the sake of my sanity, just drop a like and subscribe, because this took a lot of work, a lot more work than I thought it would be. So please, if you like today's video, if you like these, part 1, 2, 3 videos, just like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.